What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. As I've told you in the previous video that I made, I think it was yesterday or the day before, keep an eye open for the next fusion, guys. Well, Platinum finally announced the fusion that's going to happen this month. And it might be the very first of this year that actually has the entire spotlight just for it as an epic champion. So we're not going to have a fusion on a legendary champion. We're going to have a fusion on an epic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not think that we had one this year, literally just to be an epic fusion and nothing else. I know we had last year a couple of them. This year, I honestly do not remember of any of them. So we're going to have an epic champion, guys. I feel like since we have the new clan boss coming out, the Hydra, okay, I have a feeling that this, in a way or another, might help us a bit there. And of course, it might help us on the Doom Tower. So, hey folks, on Wednesday, November 24th, we're planning to launch a Champion Fragment event with a new champion, Vildrax. Faction, Demon Spawns, Rarity Epic, Type Support, Affinity, Magic. So, if you're struggling with the faction wars for Demon Spawns as well, guys, and you missed getting Dark the Hungerer, which was the epic champion that was used for, I can't really remember what legendary fusion, but was together with the meta, definitely try and get this one. It might help you in the near future. So Vildrax should be really helpful on difficult stages on Doom Tower, especially against the waves that contain champions with heal, as he'll be stealing the heal with his passive skill. He'll also be able to put enemy skills on cooldown with the help of his A3. Vildrax is the first support champion with Hex debuff in their skill set, so you can definitely experiment and pair him with other Hex champions to get some extra benefits. So, finally we got a support champion with a Hex debuff, okay? We kind of wanted one since they released the previous Hex champions, and we had no support champion with Hex to actually benefit the other champions. Now, epic champion, okay, is a fragment fusion. Usually when we're having epic fragment fusion, legendary fusion, that's a fragment one, they're kind of requiring the same thing. Just because it's epic, it doesn't usually means that is easier to complete, you know. So that's a heads up that I want to give you guys. You might want to stack your energy, stack shards, etc. if you want to get a champion. It might not be blocked behind a big paywall on the shard, the shard summoning events and tournaments to get the fragments for the champion, but that's not something that I can guarantee you. We're gonna have a look at the kit in a second as well. So we have a new mechanic, a new thing going on. We'll be able to steal the heal with the passive. That sounds very interesting. I would definitely like to see a new mechanic in here. So we actually rendered everything in here. That's how the champion looks like. It looks pretty badass, an epic champion. I feel like was feeling much better in the skinwalkers. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know how this one goes into the demon spawn as good. I feel like skinwalkers would have been maybe a better option. But hey, that's what we're getting. Now, if we're talking about skills, guys, let me bring that up on the screen right here. Vildrax skills on the A1, Verminous Grasps attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a Leech debuff for 2 turns. Now that doesn't sound bad for clan boss, doesn't sound bad for some of the bosses that you're encountering in the game. Leech on the actual faction wars is not going to be something to be like, wow, this is what's going to save my team, but it's something better than nothing, okay? So it's not a bad thing to have the Leech. Then on the A2, Duke of Flies attacks all enemies, 75% chance to place a Hex debuff for 2 turns. So basically, fully booked is definitely going to be 100% chance, probably on a 3-turn cooldown as well, to land the AoE Hex debuff for 2 turns. Then on the A3, Swarm of Horrors attacks all enemies, has a 80% chance of increasing the duration of all enemy debuffs by 1 turn. Now this sounds pretty good if you have lots of poisons, if you have lots of debuffs on bosses, that's going to be pretty good. It might be amazing for the Hydra heads as well, guys. It's AoE, 100% chance fully booked most probably to increase the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn. So you're landing that Hex with the A2 AoE, then you get to extend it with the A3. When hitting enemies under Hex debuffs, also has a 60% chance of putting one of their skills on cooldown. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think every single Hydra had in the description of the passive that is immune to putting the skills on cooldown. I might be wrong, so I'm not 100% sure, but that's something that you guys might be able to confirm or deny in the comments down below. So far, it doesn't sound like he's a extreme champion, but he's an epic champion, so I feel like for an epic champion, it sounds pretty good what he can do, you know? On the A4, here is where the unique passive comes in place, so let's see what do we have here. Has a 10% chance of stealing the heal each time an enemy under a Hex debuff is about to be healed. Come on, man. 10% chance only. Either we're gonna have to book that and it's gonna go up to like 50% chance, similar with what the Sepulture Sentinel does. If not, 10% chance is like it's not even there, you know. So hopefully it's gonna be a 50% chance fully booked. But that being said, expect the champion to require probably a minimum of 15 books, okay? So definitely be prepared on every single part to expect something out of it. It does not work against bosses. The amount healed will be the same as it would have been on the original target of the heal, except if the heal is based on the target's HP, in which it will scale off Vildrax HP. So what it says here doesn't work on bosses. It's not like it's gonna be wow on any boss that gets to heal, like the Fire Knight, or for example, maybe the Hydras, they're gonna get to heal as well. So I don't find the champion like he's gonna be wow, he's gonna change my game, he's gonna rock my world. But honestly, I don't think is a bad champion. I think I would rank it above mediocre, so above the mid-range there in the epic champions. AoE Hex sounds good. AoE increase the duration of all enemy debuffs, again, sounds good. And when hitting enemies under Hex debuffs, also has a 60% chance of putting one of their skills on cooldown. So going the A2, move over to the A3, and I think you can have a pretty decent CC. You might even be able to throw this champion on a stun set because we have 2 AoE attacks. So that might actually lock the enemies quite a bit, help you to support on Doom Tower waves, help you in Faction Wars. Now, Affinity is magic. It's definitely going to be very powerful against Faction Wars on stage 21 because we have all those Valkyries. We have a bunch of Spirit champions that are messing up all those Force champions that we have in this faction. So I feel like you could definitely use the champion there. Now, I'm definitely going to have access to the test server to test this champion out for you guys in the next coming week probably. So stay tuned for it. We'll be dropping a guide as soon as possible so I can show you guys what the champion can do. And hopefully by then we're going to find out if the next 1 or 2 Hydra heads, how many we're going to have left to discover, are they going to synergize better with Hex or no? Maybe the champion will be good for that as well, to be played on the Hydra clan boss. But in the meantime, appreciate all of you guys watching. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace!